Hello, it's those Utah sisters, and in this video, we're explaining our game Clue that we use in our classroom all the time. This is such a fun one to play and requires very little prep. So, what you need to do is you're first going to need to download a set of these Clue cards, and we have three different versions because if you play it more than once, you can't use the same version. If you've ever played Clue, the point of Clue is to identify like a person, a weapon, and like the room that it occurred in. So the versions lead you, like version one always ends up with the same person, the same weapon, and the same location. So you can't play that more than once with your class. So we have three different versions. So you could play it three different times with your class and you would never repeat what happened. So you're first going to like right click right here, open link in a new tab, and it's going to bring you to this lovely page. So this set of clues, for example, the person will be Mr. Green. It will be with the candlestick and it will occur in the library. And then it's these. Now, be warned, we created these in Word, not in Google, so I don't even know what this actually is opening in Microsoft. I don't know. So you're going to click download right here to your computer. Once you download it, you will have editing rights, but you cannot edit this one right here. This is our original. So you'll just click download to your computer. When you download it, it's going to open up like this in Word, and you should have editing power to be able to change anything you want, what you're going to need to do for the game. So before the class plays, the first thing you're going to need to do is go fill out the clue card. So it says type your question here. You'll type whatever question you want the kids to focus on. And then it says write a wrong multiple choice answer, write the correct answer, a wrong multiple choice answer, and a wrong multiple choice answer. And you will go do that for every question. So your question, the right answer, the wrong one, a wrong one. Type your question, wrong one, right, and you'll just so on and fill out all the questions. I believe it's 12 questions. Is that right? 12 questions. So you'll need 12 questions for this game to work. I'm going to go back and go through the instructions, and then we can go back to the document. So once you have that done, you're also going to print off this investigation sheet, one per student. It's just a blank sheet that looks like this, where they can work out their problems if they need to, or write some scratch work down, and then they need this to keep track of the game at the top, the suspects, weapons, and room card at the top. And we recommend having clipboards. It makes the game a little easier, but they can do it without clipboards as well. They can also just use like a notebook or something to write on. You're going to hang your clue cards, so the ones that you edited to say the questions and the answers, all around the outside of your classroom. When the students come in, you're going to tell them a murder occurred, and the object of the game is to be the first kid in the class to identify who did it, with what weapon, and in what room. Students can start on any clue cards. They're just going to walk around the room and pick any clue to start on, and they're going to solve the problem listed. When they walk around the room, they should get one of the answers on the paper is correct. They can then assume the alibi listed next to that answer is true. Meaning, if they got the answer 0 for a problem and the clue card says 0, Mr. Green was in the ballroom, that means Mr. Green has an alibi and the ballroom has an alibi. In the actual clue game, it would be like if someone showed you those two cards. You know, when you like accuse somebody and someone's like, can you prove me wrong? They show you the cards. That's what this is like. So they would go to their investigation sheet right here. They would cross off Mr. Green and they would cross off ballroom because it couldn't have been those two things. We recommend in this blank space right here writing what number clue gave them that. So for this one right here, this would be how it looked. Like clue number 5 should have crossed off Colonel Mustard, right? Clue number 12 should have crossed off Mrs. Peacock and the kitchen. Clue number 9 should have crossed off the wrench and the study. Some of the clue cards cross off one thing, some cross off two. So for example, on question 11 here, I solve it and I'm like, oh, this is my answer, whatever that was. It says the lead pipe was found in the garage. So I would cross off lead pipe. Garage is not a location. So this one would only cross off one problem. Whereas this one up here, if this was the correct answer, it would cross off Mrs. Scarlett and the conservatory. That one crosses off too. And it's just kind of random to keep the game a little more fun and keep kids on their toes. So random there. The other things that are listed on the clue cards are just decoys, and they should not write down any information from the decoys. As soon as they finish, they should have something on their paper that looks like this. They'll be left with one person that's not crossed off, one weapon, and one place. And the first student that can come and show that to you is the winner of the game, and the game has ended. Very fun. Some frequently asked questions and tips. If your questions require work, we tell them to show their work in the boxes that match the clue card. So for example, if I was solving problem 1, I would need to work it off in spot 1 right here, so that if they do make any mistakes, you can help them figure out what they did wrong. To help prevent cheating and friends going and telling their friends the answer, especially if you teach secondary and you have multiple classes, you need to make them write down the numbers, and you can check the numbers in addition to the correct thing. So, like, they have to have number 5 written by Colonel Mustard or they did it wrong. They have to have 3 written by the knife or they did it wrong. And I just tell kids, like, you can't just go around accusing people of murder. Are you joking me? Like, you're going to be locked up in jail for that. And I won't tell them if they're right or wrong until they have the whole paper filled out. If a student comes up and has the wrong answer, I put them in jail for 2 minutes for making a false accusation. Essentially, they just can't do anything for 2 minutes. And then circle multiple problems. In my class, I do 5, but I teach high school, so you might want to make it less. And say, you need to go check these few problems. If you just circle the ones they did wrong, they will be able to immediately figure out what the right one is using process of elimination. So circle a few of them and say, you should go recheck these 3 or these 5 or these whatever, and make it that way. If you do want to make it extra engaging, you can replace the people with teachers from your school, the weapons with school supplies, and the rooms with classrooms. So, for example, it was the candy bin. They had a laptop. They used a picture. It was in Mrs. Oliverson's room. It was in the commons. It was in the staircase, etc. And that makes it a little bit more fun. So there you go. If you give Clue a try in your classroom, please be sure to tag us at those Utah Sisters.